All right, I that I will show how the puppet works. So let's do that. So first of all, well, here you can see what the eyes are meant to look like. And yeah, I think it's just a reflection. So that's the thing. It's because the background is light or this sort of light greenish color, the default color, and that's reflected in this material. So that's why they look like that. So I need to find a different way of replicating that, so it doesn't depend on the background. So I can use it on stage when it's a dark background. But other than that, it's fine. So let me demonstrate again. Here now you can see exactly what it can do. So obviously, yeah, as I said before, so I can pick it up. So there's a controller grip, or what's it called, a device handle inside. So it becomes my hand, basically, real hand puppet. Um, and if I hold this controller still, then I can just move the whole puppet, and the head can move independently. And this is controlled by my right controller here. So yeah, left, right. So I can make the head shake. I can nod. So all of that works. And then now you can see with the color being lighter, you can see that the eyes can rotate as well. So you can look very conspiratorial. So it's quite. I think you can express quite a lot of things just with that. And the eyes are rolling of the controller, and that's, I mean, that's about it. There's nothing else. I mean, I could use the buttons, I guess, to do things. I've been thinking about maybe make the nose grow longer or something, Pinocchio style. I could use a button for that. Oh, and then I have the trigger. When I pull the trigger, I speak with his voice, and then the mouth also moves. Okay, so that's that. Right, how's it work? Let's open them up. So there's a couple of layers of grouping in here, and this is the first layer. So this is most of the wiring is here. So obviously it has a microphone. You can also take a wireless signal here, which is exactly how I'm doing it on stage. And so this signal here goes into two things. All of this here, well, all of it, there's not really that much. This bit here, these two are the voice distortion. So that's my voice filter, and the core of it is really this pitch shifter here. So that that makes the voice a lot higher, and that immediately makes it sound like a puppet voice. And then this one here, the ladder, also helps to filter the voice a little bit and make it sound a little bit less than my own. So I think this still needs some work at the moment. I think he sounds a little bit too robotic. But yeah, gonna work on that. The rest of it is just to switch it on and off. I mean, here there's just to make the volume a little bit higher, because otherwise it wouldn't be enough. But these here just to switch it on and off. So the trigger status gets a signal from you can see the grip in here. There's the device grip in there. When I grip, when I take up the puppet, sends a 1. That then essentially opens this gate, if you like. So these are multiplies. So if it multiplies by 0, then no signal comes through. By 1, signal comes through. So that needs to be on. Oh, sorry, actually, no, that's the grip status. So the grips, so I need to have it in my hand. So the grip will send a 1 while I hold it. And that opens this first gate here, this multiply. And the other one is the trigger. So this is my right trigger, which I get from over here. Yeah, so it's a controller block. No, what's it called actually? It's called control output, which has all these jolts for the various outputs of the two controllers. And I get the right trigger and check whether that's pressed or not. If it's above a certain threshold, then we send a 1, otherwise we send a 0, and that's this. So that then gives me the signal to let the puppet speak. right? So two things have to happen. I have to have the puppet in my hand, so that's the grip status, and I have to pull the trigger to actually make the puppet speak. And when the puppet speaks, the signal goes through this stream as well, which again is controlled by these two things. So both of these things have to be true. So I have to be holding it, and I have to be pulling the trigger for this to happen. And then when this is open, it will watch the signal. So there's a watcher block here. If we are above a certain value, 0.05 or 4 in this case, which are just, trial and error basically. When we're above this, we send a signal for a short time. That's what this delay is for. So we have we send a signal into this, open this gate, and then close it after a little while. What happens is when we open the gate, we get a signal here. The metronome fires 50 times a second, sending this signal through a Bernoulli block here, which has a certain probability of triggering or, well, sending through this output or through this output. I'm not using this, so it's only this one. So certain probability here, 0.2, to actually trigger. Gate needs to be open. Gate is only open if we are above the threshold. So basically, this is how it detects me speaking, right? This is when I say something, you can see microphone's picking up. Then this will trigger, and then for a short time, it will, send this signal, the mouth signal, like randomly on and off, yeah. And so every time it sends that mouth signal, there's obviously a receiver in here. It changes the visibility of two blocks. So there's two blocks in here, and they just alternate. So every time it gets a signal, it goes to the other block and then the other block, and then the overall effect of this is the this. Yeah, you can see the two blocks. Okay. Right. So that's that. This is the internal speaker, but it also has an audio out wireless signal, which I'm actually using on stage. So it does have a little trigger, which I now it's now outside. But yeah, I'm not gonna save this, so it's fine. Ruined it a little bit now. There's a trigger here or a toggle that I can use to switch between internal and external speakers, so to basically switch this off. And that's what I need on stage, because I need the signal to go through this the same like the the reverb and everything that I have going on stage with the main microphone that I have in front of me. But if I'm not on stage, if I want to use it like here, I can use this internal speaker. So volume control for that as well. So this was just this is the trigger to so it knows whether the puppet speaks or I'm speaking. All of this here is these are the angles. This is the what's it called, controller rotation block. And so this monitors the right controller in all three directions. So this, that, and that roll. For some reason, these give a signal between 0 and 360, which you would expect for rotation. But rotation blocks need a signal between 0 and 36, so I have to divide by 10. That's why this is here. This is just to 0 it, so I can reset it. And then you can see here these are constantly firing, but they're not getting through. There's no signal being sent to the head, and that's because I haven't got the device in my hand. So grip status. See if I take the device. Now it's active and the signal is getting through. And when I let go again, the gate's shut and the signal is not getting through. So my controller does not affect the head. And this is the device handle inside. And here you can see how the signals coming out of this one to set the grip status. So when I hold it, when I grip it, it sends a signal. And that's how I know I have picked up the puppet. There's another device handle inside, which is kind of an accident, but it's now really hard to remove it, so I'm just leaving it where it is. Um, and that's because I didn't realize, makes perfect sense, and I know it now, but I didn't know it then, that the device handle needs to be in a sort of top level group when you make the device, so the final group. These things are all grouped, the subgroups within the group. So the device handle inside is active now, but it doesn't work when I group the whole thing into a device, which I've done. Obviously, in the end, I have to group all of this and make a device. And then that handle is sitting in a subgroup of the device of the main group, and it doesn't work anymore, so I had to put in another one. But because it's already integrated into this, it's actually here, isn't it? Yeah, I can't actually get it out. So I just left it in there. So let's open this up. So here's another group, and you can see what's inside. So we have the head here, and the head is controlled by these two rotation blocks. Let's see if I remove this. Yeah, now you can see it. So there's two rotors here, which control the rotation in 2 dimensions. Yeah, so I don't need a third dimension. It doesn't need to do this, but I want it to be able to rotate like that and not, and that's the two controllers, the two rotors here. One rotor controls the other rotor. That rotor controls the actual head. So the head itself is also a group. So open that up. And then there's groups of groups and groups of groups. There's quite a lot. So here there's some stuff here. You can see the eyes. It's all a weird angle now. The eyes are also grouped. Open that up. You can see they have a landmark. I'm going to do a little tutorial about a landmark, I think, because it's such an important block. And I didn't know about it until very recently. Really changes everything. So the eye itself, each eye is, of course, also a group. There you go, because it has to be able to rotate. So similar to the head, it is controlled by two rotors. This rotor will control this axis, this rotation, which it does by actually controlling where the other rotor is. So the other rotor goes round, and that rotor is actually attached to the eye itself, and of course it rotates that way, so that can make the eye go this way. I'm not actually using that right now. So I thought I could have the eyes go, up and down as well. That would be great, but I'm kind of running out of controls. That's the problem. I use the rotation of the controller like that to rotate the eyes left, right, and I don't know what else. I mean, I could use a button or like button and rotation to do that, but it gets complicated. So yeah, not doing that. The landmark here is super important because this eye, here you can see it rotate. This eye itself is also another group. Here you see the material. This is what I'm going to have to change to make it, to prevent it going dark when I'm on stage. I don't know exactly what I'm going to do here. But the landmark here is really important because this is difficult. This, of course, is a group of two things. So the pupil and the eyeball are two spheres. And if I would just group it like this, then the center of that would be not the center of the main sphere, the eyeball, but somewhere around here, and the eyeball would wobble. But by using a ruler and putting the landmark on top of the sphere center is the center of that group, and so it rotates in exactly the right way. And that's kind of it. I mean, groups of groups. So close this one, close that one, close this one. And I mean, one other thing I just wanted to point out, and I think I'm going to do a little tutorial about this, is that the buttons, I had real problems just putting the buttons in place. So see here, you see the problem. So if you grip the button and you just this needs to be put in place manually because this is well, it's obviously not a straight surface, so you can't use a ruler, so you have to place it manually, which is not a problem. But if you do it like this and you think, oh yeah, that's probably all right, and then you look side and say, it's hovering, so I need to now make it go a little bit closer to the surface. But try to do that, and you always end up grabbing the bigger shape here, which is the body, because you can see the boundary box of it. It's quite big, so the moment this is inside the boundary box of the bigger shape, it becomes pretty much impossible to grab this and change its position. So just put it there, and then I want to change the position a little bit is kind of impossible. So what I've done here, show that you can see it already here. There's something going on there. So this is a group in itself. It's just a landmark again. So I'm really going to do something about. I'm going to do a little tutorial about landmarks. They're so useful. So now what happens is I can put it, place it roughly. But now I have this, the landmark. You can see that yellow dot is where the landmark is. And I can actually grab that. So now I can position it without interfering with the boundary box of the bigger shape. So yeah, so that took me a while actually, because I was really getting frustrated with just trying to place this. This is impossible. Every time you've got two in and a third one, it's like that looks awkward. Then you have to start again, because you have to basically take the big shape, somewhere else, and then start again positioning them. And I've had similar problems before with this, and also the eyes, for example, have a landmark, because then it's easy to grab them both. This is very useful, this as well. Oh yeah, this one, could open that and open this. This is what's behind the mouth. So you can see here that, this is a problem I've had before. At this point now, I think maybe it's because I'm too deep in like layered groups within groups. Something goes wrong. Seen this before, so I'm trying to pull the trigger here and grip the block. I can't. See, my controller just disappears. That's a bug. But yeah, hard to replicate. I don't know exactly what causes it, but it happens with this. I've seen it before. I don't know if it's because I'm in groups of groups of groups of groups. I don't know. But you can see here that it's basically two rectangles on top of each other, so that gives the impression of the moving mouth. And these are just visibility controllers, set visibility 0 or 1 for each of the two blocks. So when this is just every time the signal comes through, we go through this sequence loop. So it goes sends this one, this one, this one, this one, and remember, it does it sort of a little bit randomly. So it's not just flashing regularly, but kind of random. And each time it sets one to visible and the other one to invisible. So this is how it alternates between the two. And that's really all of it. So I just want to make sure that I don't save this now, because I've completely ruined the device. But that's fine, because I'm not going to save it. Okay, bye.